Calories don't count this time of year.
My presence is your gift.
What was Christmas like for you as dead inside?
Todd would buy in a paper bag if it was 75% off.
Life is way better in my bubble. I've invited you in, but...
No, life has beat me down one too many times. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Tangents with Tyler and Todd. I'm one of your hosts, Tyler.
And I'm Todd, and we've got Eddie joining us if you're watching the video right now.
You can come up, buddy.
How was your week?
It was really, really good.
Was it?
We are full into the Christmas spirit. We have been putting up Christmas trees all week. We'll throw up a couple videos if you're watching this on YouTube of what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical in here.
I love decorating for Christmas. I just find it very fun. I'm not really a Halloween person. I'm more of a Christmas. So right now, I think we're at 4 trees, but I've got 2 more corners that I've got my eyes on. So
yeah,
we'll see where we get.
Behind Todd, there is a gorgeous 9-foot tree. And then right in front of us, there's a 12-foot tree that just takes up the whole living room. It's the most magical place I've ever lived for Christmas by far. I can't wait. And it snowed.
It did. Also, my record is 9 trees. So probably not this year because we're in the middle of a move, but maybe next year I'll get to 10.
Yeah, Todd's thing with Christmas is basically every room that people congregate in, he will put up a tree.
Yeah, even if they don't congregate there, or they pass by on their way to congregate, there's probably going to be a tree in it.
Yeah, why? What is it about the trees for you?
I find, well, first off, whenever like space or we are like designing something, I hate empty corners. I find them very troublesome for me. They just cause a lot of anxiety. Like something should be in the corner. I don't like seeing the hard angle.
I mean, we could put a plant there. I don't know that it needed to be a 9-foot tree.
Yeah, well, we know now that it fits perfectly and it looks good. I don't know. I just also I find trees fun to decorate.
Yeah. More
than like building. Everyone has their own thing. Like some people like train sets or Christmas villages. For me, it's trees. Like I just love decorating them and theming them.
Yeah. We're on a little bit of a tangent here already, but I saw online that you can get train sets that go around the base of the tree and you can get like Hogwarts ones. Ooh. You can get the Polar Express, like all the different, I guess, movies that have trains in them you can get. Wow. I think that would be really beautiful.
That would. I have this dream where I want to go to thrift shops and get all the like 60s and 50s style ornaments and do a tree, like a sparkly silver tree with tinsel and all those, like, I forget what they're called, but they have a very, like a specific name. Do you know what I mean? The like 70s, 60s vibe ornaments.
No, I don't know what you mean at all.
I'll show you a photo after, but it's just this vision I have in my head. I just haven't had a chance to go to a thrift store in the last like 12 years. So I'm busy.
We'll add that to the list. Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Christmas. Why not? It got Eddie's attention too, if you're watching. It's it's this season. I love this time of year. I think it's also because why I love it, it's such an exciting time before the doom and gloom of winter. Mm-hmm. So you go from summer, which every day is getting better because a new flower is sprouting or there's a new bird that has come back or, there's just always change. And then you go into early fall and then fall. And I like it because the gardens are the most full, the leaves are changing, everyone's just in a good mood and recharged after the summer. Mm-hmm. And then that leads nicely into Christmas, which is just like a warm, cozy, getting together, eating food and relaxing.
Yeah, and then we slip into a dark depression until spring.
Yeah, and then we do it all again and say, isn't it great to live in Canada?
Yeah, that is one of the really difficult things of living, I think, in Canada, is the days are really dark. It's cold. I mean, it's the downside of living in a northern climate, but
you have to look at the plus side of it. Christmas falls on winter solstice. So once it passes and you turn the lights off, each day is technically getting longer. So you're naturally getting more light.
Yeah, I think having Christmas when it is and like the joy of it and the excitement, it's nice because it is a depressing time of year.
Yeah.
So it kind of like is something to look forward to and to be excited about.
Yeah. It's like no coincidence that it falls on, an ancient pagan holiday, but that's a tangent for another day. Yeah. I think that's something that people find probably, I wonder now if Christmas has as much religious meaning to people as it used to. Like for me, I'm agnostic. I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe in any like formal thing, but I love Christmas. But I think it's more about that cozy feeling opposed to like he is risen.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, that's Easter. Sorry.
What is now? He is
born.
Born?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday. See, for me, like, I'm not religious either, but I totally respect the, like, you know how the whole, like, keep the Christ in Christmas thing. I get that religious people, this is technically a religious holiday, but I think it's also a time of family and connection. And for me, it was never about the religious aspect of it or my family, but our traditions that we have as a family are still something that I love and we kind of honor in our own way, like today.
Yeah, I think that's what's really cool about when you marry or move in or like join your life with someone else is the blending of traditions. It's really exciting because there's things that we do that come from you and your family, and there's things that we do that come from me and mine. And I think it's just like the perfect blend because we got to choose what we liked out of those and built our own traditions off of it, which is kind of cool.
What was it like growing up? What were the traditions that you had? What was your experience?
Christmas for us was big. Like we always decorated. My mom made us wait on usually until Dad's birthday, which is November 20th. So then we would start decorating them. But as I got older and into high school, like I always decorated the house. It was no surprise when I came out of the closet. Let's just be honest. I was always like decorating. So anyway, as I got older, they started letting me decorate like earlier and earlier. I just loved it because when you do so much work for it, why would I want to put it up on December 15th and only have it for 2 weeks? Like if I'm going to put this much work into something, I'm going to have those lights on and pumping for like 2 months. Anyway, that's a tangent. So then as we got closer to Christmas, my dad was always off for Christmas, which was really cool. And then we usually would have like a hockey tournament or something, I feel, afterward when we were younger. But Christmas itself was really busy, which is something that you and I have talked about a lot, that when we have kids, we're not going to do Christmas that way because we were always on the road going to see people and we never got to stay at home and play with our toys until late, but then it was usually time to go to bed anyway. So
that really surprised me. The first Christmas we spent together, I spent with your family, and I was not ready for how it was just a road trip the whole day.
Yeah.
Basically, your family goes from place to place to place visiting everyone. Which
got easier as I got into the drinking age.
yeah, made it a little more fun.
Yeah.
But it was surprising that it was just a very busy day, but it's exciting because you're getting to spend time with family, and like that really is what the holidays are about. But I think it was extreme on that end, where my experience was I grew up in a place where I didn't have any family except my parents. Like it was just me, my mom and my dad and my sister. So it would have been cool to have some family visits, but not that extreme.
Yeah. So like just to set the context, we had Christmas Eve it was usually at my place or my place, my parents' place or my aunt's. Like it rotated one and one. Then we had my grandparents come over to watch us open presents. Then we went to watch our cousins open presents. Then we had breakfast. Then we had lunch with my dad's family, dinner, like full extended family, dinner with my mom's siblings and like her mom. Then we would on Boxing Day, which is the 26th. I don't think that's a thing in the US, Boxing Day.
Really? Boxing Day?
No, I think it comes from the UK.
Oh, interesting. In Canada, we get Christmas Day and then Boxing Day. That's when all the big sales are.
Yeah. Black Friday is new to us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Friday is like a new phenomenon. It's been Boxing Days when you get your biggest sales of the year, like TVs and appliances.
I need a new printer.
We've been holding out for a lot of projects here. We don't have a lot right now just because we want to wait and take advantage of the sales.
Yeah. Also, like I I just don't trust Black Friday sales. I think we're just so pre-programmed for them. Like there was a printer because ours is broken and it's been broken for 6 months, but I keep saying I'm waiting for Boxing Day. So I checked on.
Todd had to drive all the way to his parents today to print something. You're so annoyed.
Yeah. So, but it was 50% off and I was like, nope, it's going to be cheaper on Boxing Day. So I didn't get it. And watch, it's going to be like 40% off instead of 50. But,
yeah, probably.
So sorry, tangent. Then we would have usually like a lunch or something with my dad's mom on Boxing Day. But because my mom's parents were divorced, we would go and see my grandfather and his wife at some point on Boxing Day as well. So then that was like 2 full days of just traveling as a kid, which was really tiring.
Yeah, especially at a time where, you know, you've been busy being in school for the last few months. You just get all these toys. All you want to do is be at home, opening them, playing with them.
Yeah, like Santa read my letter, went to Toys R Us and got me exactly what I wanted, didn't include the batteries, and then brought it to me. Like, of course I want to be at home and playing with that.
But
it's
instead,
magic.
You're being drug all over Helen Creation.
Oh, sorry. He has elves.
Who does?
Santa.
My mistake.
Yeah. Interesting, though. They must like have the same supply chain as Toys R Us. I don't know how it works, but anyway, 33 and I still don't know how he makes all those toys.
Todd was a big believer in like all of that stuff. The Easter Bunny, Santa, the Tooth Fairy, maybe a little too long.
Can I go on a quick tangent about it?
Yeah.
My dad crushed my world. He still knows this. Also, just gonna put a thing here. If anyone's watching with someone that has these beliefs, just might be a good time to pause and say, hey, go get me something from the fridge. Continuing on.
If you are listening with a child that's young.
Yeah, or 12. So when I was 12, we were going away over Easter. So I wrote a letter to the Easter Bunny asking if they could come on Friday night instead of Saturday night.
A 12-year-old Todd.
Yeah, and asked my parents to mail it because I couldn't figure out the stamps. But then because our flight was on Sunday, like we weren't going to be home to find the eggs and I was worried they were going to go bad and like just seeing if he could pop in a day early just for us. Anyway, my dad thought it was a joke. So he told me, he was like, we need to talk like this. He's not real. And I instantly started bawling my eyes out so bad. Like my whole world just came crumbling down. And then my parents told me after, it was really funny. Like the timing was just funny. They were in the room getting ready and they were talking about it. And Dad was like, he must have known because he didn't ask about Santa. And so they said within a minute, I walked into the room and was like, so I suppose this means there's no Santa either. And my dad was like, well, yeah. And I just bursted out crying again and took off running. It was very traumatic. We all still remember that day in our house.
Yeah, I think we've had very different experiences. I was not doing that at 12 years old.
Yeah. I kind of live in my own bubble world though. Like very...
You're very naive.
Very naive, easily taken advantage of.
Oh, big time.
Don't really understand rules.
How the world works.
Nothing. Consequences. Like if I walk off of this and fall, I should know that I'm going to hurt myself, but I just don't, it doesn't register, you know?
Well, you come by it honestly.
So now that we've established that I was always a child at heart and probably will always be a child at heart, what was Christmas like for you as Dead Inside?
It was actually a really special time. My birthday is December 11th, so it's really, really close to Christmas. And December just feels like a magical time. Like I grew up in Labrador where there was always snow. Like I've always had a Christmas that's had snow, except when I moved away. That's been like a weird thing to get used to because like we could just not have snow for Christmas and it would be sort of normal. There was a few years ago where it was like 12 or 14 degrees. Remember your whole family went for a walk?
Well, we moved to Edmonton when we were 24, I think, or I was 24. And that 5 years we were there, it was a white Christmas every single year. But before moving there, I maybe had 2 or 3 that I can distinctly remember being like, wow, we've got snow for Christmas.
I will say white Christmas is very different in terms of my mood and the magic of it. the Christmases that we've had lately without snow, it doesn't feel as special.
That's why you got to learn to love the tree. The tree makes it special.
Yeah, I do love the tree. It's beautiful. And right now there's snow, so I'm feeling very, very festive.
So I should give you my list.
But what I was going to say, though, is growing up, because it was always a white Christmas, we would get snow in like from Halloween on. It just always feels like my favorite time of year. So I get to celebrate my birthday, and then in just a few weeks, it's Christmas again. And my family, we would watch like movies, Harry Potter movies. What's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? What's that one?
Chronicles.
The Chronicles of Narnia, The Polar Express. We would have family movie nights. And then on Christmas Eve, we would all make snack foods and like have like matzo sticks and chicken nuggets and like, you know, like all the like
appies.
Yeah, like all the appetizers that kids like. And then we would put on that movie, and it just felt so exciting. I know it seems like a simple thing, but it's a tradition that you and I do now.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Like we always. So I never watched Harry Potter, never read the books, haven't read them yet, but I've seen the movies only because of you. And so we still watch all the movies leading up to Christmas Eve and watch the seventh movie.
Yeah. So right now we're on The Prisoner of Azkaban.
I normally fall asleep, so I don't know where we're at.
Todd he's not into it, but me and my sister still watches them. Like,
oh,
it's
really?
A thing. Oh yeah. Like it's just a thing that I don't know. It's special. I don't know how to explain it. It probably seems silly and dumb, but I think that's the cool thing about traditions is every single family and every person has a different thing that's special. Remember our friends that used to hide like a pickle?
That's a big thing.
Oh, really?
That's a big thing. Like you can get full ornaments of pickles now, so you don't have to have a dill pickle sitting in your tree.
That's so weird.
It's to get the special present. I would totally do that. Like that's a tradition I want to introduce for our kids. Like if we have multiple, if we only have one Angelica, then like she's going to be the one to find the pickle.
I think you and I should start more traditions. It just feels magical.
I actually like the tradition that we have because we have always been working multiple jobs, side hustles, all kinds of different things. And Christmas is the one day out of 365 that we do not work. We do not discuss work. We do not open our emails. We don't do anything. We just shut down.
Yeah. Last year was actually the first year where we didn't, like, it wasn't only that we shut down for that day, it was that whole entire week.
It was nice.
It was really, really nice. And I know that it's not like a groundbreaking concept by any means, but I think when you are ambitious and you want a lot out of your career, whether you're a nurse, whether you own your own business, it's hard to step back and actually like give yourself permission to take time off and to have downtime, but it's so necessary.
Yeah, it really is. It's such an exciting day. And I think we'll probably take like maybe 2 or 3 days off because I'm excited for this year. We've got your family coming over. My family's going to be here. I think it's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah. So I guess our plans for this year, it's my sister's coming a little bit before Christmas. She can't make it for the full time, but then my parents come and they're going to be staying here in the cabin, which is just, it's exciting because the last 4 years, we've not been in a position where we can spend Christmas with family, and being able to have everyone here. We're going to be hosting a dinner.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And my parents were supposed to be in Ontario where my brother lives, but there was a scheduling change and they're going to be here now, which is exciting. So they're going to spend Christmas night with us. And it's just going to be really fun because that's the other thing. I always love on Christmas Day just cooking. I pretty much spend the whole day in the kitchen. Even when it was just Tyler and I, we would do the full meal. When we ate meat, we would have a turkey. Our first Christmas by ourselves in Edmonton, we didn't understand turkey. Like when I bought that turkey, I thought that a 26-pound turkey for 2 people was like sufficient when you take out the bone and fat.
That poor girl, she was literally riding the elements in the oven.
She had some burn marks.
She was charred.
But we learned not to get that big of a turkey. But I just love cooking
For
and having
26
food.
pounds for 2 people.
13 pounds each. Eat up. I didn't know how much bone a turkey has, though. Turns out not much. But anyway, then there's always like all the vegetables, the dressing, all that stuff. And I'm just excited to do that this year. And other people eat it besides you and I, and then have 2 weeks of leftovers in the freezer. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, the food, that's the thing that I like, I think maybe the most about that time of year. It's we try and eat healthy throughout the year, but we as healthy as we can. I mean, we're not.
There's give and take.
There's
cheat weeks, you know.
We've had a few cheat months along the way, but we try and balance it out. But over the holidays, it's just whatever we want. Like we're not monitoring it at all, which I like.
Yeah, like right now the peppermint mocha creamer in the coffee, it has a lot of calories in it, but oddly, calories don't count this time of year.
Yeah, what is that about?
I think it's because everyone's just focused on Christmas that there's no time to count calories, so they don't count. You know?
Yeah, the joy. Well, I mean, we're not, I want to say, we're not big calorie counters anyway.
No, that's just a joke. I go more on how I feel, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Pants are getting a little tight, got to make some better decisions.
Or when I'm like in the shower and if I look down, I know the amount of little bump that I like to have. And when it starts to grow, it's time for me to take action, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I monitor it. We haven't had a scale in years.
Todd's being a little coy right now. What he's actually means is if he can't see where
I extend out, then I know that I've put on too much and I need to come back in. But that's just where this is a tangent off a tangent, but I find sometimes people comment on weight and it really bothers me because everyone ebbs and flows and they don't understand the full thing of sometimes you're really busy and sometimes I forget to eat. So I have ADHD. Sometimes I do forget to eat because the meds I'm on, but I'm still healthy. So anyway, we got rid of the scale a long time ago. So I just learned that I have the body that I feel the most comfortable, the most able to perform and do like the work I need to. And I think focusing on a number is really unhealthy. This
is a pretty significant tangent off Christmas, but it is something important to say because that's been happening more and more lately. And I don't know what that's about, of people commenting in videos about your body or my body. And it can be a really uncomfortable thing if you feel insecure. Like if I'm feeling, I feel chubby today or whatever. Yeah. And even though that may not be true, to see someone validate that, it's just a good practice to not comment on people's bodies.
I agree. But then I also flip it. This is, again, me living in my bubble. I take it as a point of they're concerned, but like we're aware. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to take it as a positive thing, just being like, hey, maybe like it could be helpful. Like I can't see my back. What if I grow a hump? It would be nice to, if I grow a hump on my back, let me know. But if I'm looking a little thin, I'm aware. Like
Yeah.
Anyway, off the tangent. That's us on counting calories.
Oh yeah, wow.
Wow. Brought her back though.
All right, we are going to take a quick moment and thank Rocket Money for sponsoring a portion of today's episode, which allows us to continue posting content completely free for you. The other day, I got charged for an app I signed up for last year called Plant ID. Honestly, I totally forgot I even had it because it was one of those apps I signed up for on a whim and then just completely stopped using it after a few months. I tried to cancel it, but the only way to do it was by calling their customer service number. But of course, they're only available between 9 and 5, and plus, who calls people anymore? So what did I do? Nothing, because I have Rocket Money now. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills. I never have to get on the phone with customer service again. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and helped its members save an average of $720 a year with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting your money on things you don't use. Cancel those unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/TTT. That's rocketmoney.com/TTT. rocketmoney.com/TTT. Back to the episode.
Anyway, Christmas is I find it just it can be just so relaxing. And I think it's because you and I choose not to have a stressful Christmas. And I think that's where people go wrong with it. And they're like, it's a lot of work for one day. It's a lot of work if you allow it.
I do want to say, though, I think the most stressful part about the holidays and Christmas is family. As much as I love the life that we have now, we get to have everyone.
Just to clarify, are you talking about my mom or your mom? Just
so it's clear in the notes. Family in general, people being in your space, spending time with family, different groups of family members that don't normally connect, and the awkwardness of it all. Not even just our family, everyone's families. It's a time of stress and awkwardness. It's different religious beliefs, political beliefs. It can be a lot and can be tricky to navigate.
Yeah, especially Tyler's not very social. Like, your social battery is probably one of the smallest ones I've ever seen. So yeah, I think that also adds to it. Like, there's a lot of pressure to be everywhere and see everyone.
Yeah. I think the thing that I'm kind of enjoying about that, because I agree, my social battery, it is very low. Like, when I'm done with a situation, it's obvious that I'm done. Like, I basically am like, I'm
RBF.
Yeah, RBF, big resting bitch face. Like, I'm like, get me out of here and get me out of here now.
To be fair, I have a small social battery as well.
Yeah.
But my biggest hurdle is getting out the door. Once I'm out the door, like, I've already put jeans on. I'm going somewhere in them. Because if I took sweatpants off to put jeans on, I'm going somewhere, you know? Mm-hmm. Whereas you're like, well, I could just put them back on and not even go.
Oh, I'm just a homebody. But yeah, where I was going with that is us creating our own traditions and, you know, wanting to have a life of our own. That did cause conflict earlier in our relationship, because I think it can be difficult for parents to accept that, like, when your birds leave the nest, they want to build their own nest. And, you know, like, I think it's a weird thing.
Happened is, keeping with the bird theme, we migrated across the country.
Oh.
See? And I think that was really helpful too, because it allowed us, there was no pressure. We literally got to build the Christmas traditions and holiday that we wanted. And then when we moved back here, those had been our traditions for, at that point, 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
So that was the new tradition. There was no like, we'll work things in as it fits.
Yeah.
But this is what works for our family unit.
I can imagine that it would be really difficult, though, for people, if you've never moved away from home, that you would feel like you're obligated to have whatever your grandmother's tradition was or whatever your mother's tradition was. Because you're kind of like, how do you put down your foot of that independence?
Yeah.
If they live in the same town as you.
Yeah, exactly. It would be hard.
Yeah.
That's why you just move, you know? Find the biggest country and move to the other side of it, or second biggest.
And say, gotta go.
Gotta go.
Yeah, no, that was a really kind of, I haven't really thought about it in that way before, but I think
it's not just about traditions. There are so many things. You and I were fresh out of university, freshly married, trying to figure things out. And I think, like, looking back, our marriage is so much stronger because we went across.
I totally agree.
Moved and we had time to just grow in those really foundational years without the pressure of all kinds of different things.
I actually can't imagine how different our life would be had we have not had the space to be on our own and figure out who we were. And I love our parents. Like, I know you're all listening to this, so it's kind of weird.
And if not, you better be.
It's kind of weird to say, but us leaving the nest, we were able to figure out who we were as people, not the versions of us that our parents thought we were, you know?
I do, but I also want to preface, you and I are both extremely independent people. We have always been independent people, and like very headstrong, and there are some people
difficult to manage.
Yes, that was told to me numerous times when I worked for someone besides myself.
Any manager I've ever had, you're difficult to manage.
Yeah, we all know what that means.
Yeah, I don't want to be managed.
Just let me do what I want to do. But that's the thing, is that's a whole separate tangent about like micromanagement in corporate culture. But yeah, I think that moving away helped us, but it's not what everyone needs. You and I were independent and having we wanted that space. Some people need the support of family, which like everyone has different stories and needs, you know?
But yeah, agreed. But I think drawing boundaries is really, really difficult to do when you don't have the independence that we were able to get by moving away. Like, imagine say you're 53 years old, your parents are in their 80s, and you've been basically doing what they've wanted and what they've told you to do for years and years and years. How are you going to put your foot down now?
I just had to get away because they kept telling me to leave you, and I just couldn't hear it anymore.
Oh my God.
Just joking.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm sure if we ended up divorced, my parents would be keeping you, and I'm out of the family dinners.
I don't know about that.
I do got to say, though, one of my favorite... I got 2 stories now, okay? They're my favorite Christmases when we were independent. Okay, so my first one was our second Christmas in Edmonton because I was able to get all the time off the time off over the holidays there because I was junior. I never really got good vacation.
Is that the Christmas morning that we walked and got the coffees and had the Baileys?
Oh,
yeah.
And it was just a perfect... Charlie got his head stuck in a Sprite box. Like, there were just so many different things that were just so memorable.
Yeah.
And it was that same mentality of... like, we're off. So we actually turned our work cell phones off for that time. And
we had like 5 days where all we did was just stay at home and, you know, go for walks with the dogs. We had wine in the evenings. We made food.
Lots of wine. Remember the wine was on sale? Our favorite wine always went on sale.
That's Stoneleigh. We bought
2 cases because it went on sale for like 75% off. The liquor store we got it from, actually, this is really bad, but the sample lady there, her and I became like kind of good friends because just if there's free wine to try, I'm going to try it. And then the wine was always good. Plus it was on sale, so I was going to buy it. So anyway, we moved from there and we were in the area 2 years later and we stopped in. She recognized me and was like, "You're not going to like this red." Knew my taste still. Love it. Sobeys liquor store in Twilliger if anyone's in the Edmonton area. But where was it? That was that Christmas, okay? The other one was the one when we flew home. So
and surprised everyone.
Yeah.
That was really special.
That was a cool one. So we flew home last minute without anyone knowing. I think only your dad knew because he picked us up at the airport or had a car pick us up or something, a friend.
Yeah.
And we wanted someone to know we were in the air in case our plane crashed. Like someone's got to go collect whatever the payout is from Air Canada. You know, everyone's got a little price on their ticket. That's part of your agreement. Anyway, we flew home without anyone knowing us. Everyone was at family dinner at my aunt's house. So we dropped our bags off at my parents', took a cab and had them drop us off a few doors down. And we walked in. And I still remember being in her foyer and my shoe wouldn't come off. And you were hauling on it as loud as you could. And under your breath, you were like, "I am not having someone walk out here and see us like this after I flew across the country. Get your shoe off." Like, so mad trying to get in there. And then
that's so typical Todd though. Like you had a shoe that was like laced up to your ankles. Like
I bought them the day before, so I was going to wear them.
But you know the type of boots that you need to sit down on a stool that take you 10 minutes to lace up? He said, "Let me sneak in here and just slip these off."
Yeah. Bad shoe choice.
Bad shoe choice.
If you're going to surprise people and need to get in the house quickly, Crocs. Loafers work too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crocs, slippers. Just something without a heel. Anyway, it was just really cool because we managed to pull it off. Then we had all of our family here say, "You can't post anything online that we're home," because we left Nova Scotia and flew to Newfoundland, I think Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And we surprised your mom because your dad knew and your sister, which was really cool that we were able to like
actually pull it off.
Surprising 2 families in 2 provinces.
Yeah. That was cool. If you've never surprised someone for Christmas, I highly recommend. It's better than any gift I've ever gotten or received. When I think about that, like how I felt in those moments, it was so special.
Yeah, it really was. Speaking of that, how do you feel about gifting for Christmas?
I mean, I kind of look at it as like my presence is your gift. Like, and not in a conceited way.
Doesn't sound it at all.
No. What I mean by that is like spending time. We are very busy. Like for us to be able to like spend several days as a family together, time is money. And
not just us. You mean general we, like everyone is busy.
Everyone is busy. And there is nothing more valuable than quality time. When someone like your parents and your nan are coming over and spending the night here for Christmas with my parents, like we're going to have...
because no one's going to be able to drive them home after dinner.
Yeah, let's be honest. No, but that is worth a lot to me. Same as me spending, you know, your dad's birthday. Everyone came over here, spent the night. We made pizzas. We had a lot of fun. We didn't get him a birthday gift, because that was the gift. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Everyone in our family is not big on gifts. We're all really big on time and like getting something for dinner and like talking, having a couple drinks. Like that's what our families do.
Yeah, exactly. It's also that I'd rather, and I think this is more common than we think, no one waits for something for Christmas anymore. Like if you need a new vacuum and it's August, you're going to go get a new vacuum. Yeah. Like you're not like,
oh God, I hope Jim takes the hint.
Oh, Jim, get the hint. But get the Hoover, Jim. But I think that like if we're somewhere and we see something stupid that we know someone in our gifting circle would like, we're going to buy it for them then and give it to them then. Yeah. I'm not going to sit on it because I can't sit on it. I also don't like receiving gifts because I find people, especially at big things when gifts are expected, like weddings, birthdays, Christmas.
Yep.
People buy a gift with an expectation of a reaction, and I find that puts way too much anxiety on me, and I don't like to open cards, gifts, nothing in front of anyone except for you.
So we just got to go down this tangent for a second. So when we got married, where I'm from, it's a common tradition that the following day, all the family, like the immediate family, gets together and it's like a gift opening party, basically. Is it a tradition in Nova Scotia as well?
I think it's kind of like everywhere, but a lot
is it really?
Weddings are a really big ordeal. Like there's like the bridal showers and then the bachelor parties and then the engagement dinners and the rehearsals.
It's
like
too much.
We had day of outside of that. Our cousins organized us a joint bachelor.
Yeah.
We kept it simple, Kiss, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that is like a normal thing, I guess, around here. And Todd and I made it very clear, we will not be opening our gifts in front of anyone because I don't like the pressure of what the expectation is of how I need to react to opening a gift. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. Like I want to crawl out of my skin. I hate it.
Yeah. And see, talking about how like I always opened up presents, I think some of my anxiety comes from my grandparents were divorced. And so when we were kids, because it happened when we were kids, there was always, they kind of got into this buying gift thing and like, comparing notes and stuff or at least that's how it felt because they were there and saw the gifts being opened. And so I think that pressure is also why I hate opening anything from anyone in front of the person who gave it to me.
Oh, like you mean the comparison
So
of
my
it.
grandmother was there when we were opening gifts and like we had to say, hold up the gift and be like, who gave it to us?
Oh, yeah.
So then I had to say, well, this is from my grandfather.
That's tough.
Awkward.
Very awkward. Yeah, because then, I guess I never really had that because, when we were growing, we never had family there, but I can imagine if there was like a group of people like aunts and uncles and all of that, and one family member was better off financially, that would be hard.
Yeah, it would. Wouldn't life have been so much easier though if we just had like a rich uncle somewhere that just gave us checks happy birthday, happy 6th birthday. Here's 10,000. Go do whatever 6-year-olds do, you know?
Does anyone out there want to be our uncle?
Sugar uncle. So yeah, that's how we feel about gifts. I find there's just a lot of pressure behind it. And then that's where the stress comes from. You're racking up credit card debt.
Yeah. It's an expensive time of year.
Expensive. Very expensive. But I'm still looking forward to it. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of going down the negative side of it now. All the pressures of it. Where it's supposed to be about joy. Like we're going to focus on the food and the people and...
Yeah. I mean, but I don't think it's going down. It's the realities of... Yes, it's an exciting time of year, but there's also like a dark kind of underbelly to it too. It's a depressing time of year for a lot of people.
Yeah.
The pressures of it, the financial burdens. Like, I don't think it's bad to talk about that. It's the truth, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess. And like people talk about if you're alone or like family's not with you.
Yeah.
I know it was weird our first Christmas when we were out west. I did start with that. I FaceTimed quite a bit back home that day.
Yeah. I can imagine if you don't have friends or family and stuff, like seeing that sort of love constantly displayed, it would be a pretty lonely time.
Yeah. I like the movies though, I won't lie. That's what
you like the fantasy of
love it
all.
Like I can't wait. Probably next week I'll do some baking. And for that, I'll just put my laptop on the counter and just have like the cheesy like Christmas Prince movies on and stuff. Yeah. Love it. Seen them all a billion times, but
Todd will watch every single Christmas movie that's on any platform. Netflix, Disney, all of it.
All of it. There's something, it's just a happy story. It's not one you have to pay attention to. You're not there being like, wow, this is Oscar worthy.
Well, I mean, the plot of every single one of those movies is the same.
Yeah, they left the big city. They went home. They got to save the community center, the school, the puppy shelter, something, or the family business. You know, the inn's not doing well these days. And Mima's not doing well either. But I just like it because you don't really have to pay attention and it just keeps that Christmas charge going.
Yeah.
It's the fantasy. It's the bubble. Life is way better in my bubble. I've invited you in, but you just can't get in there, can you?
No, life has beat me down one too many times.
How do you feel about Christmas cards and like doing the whole family photo and the great big long letter? Would you write one being like, little Ange had a great year at T-ball this year. She did great. She got MVP in the Labor Day weekend tournament. She's loving grade 8. And this is a photo of us. Would you ever do that? And if someone sent you one, would you read it?
Well, what else would I do? Catch it on fire?
I don't know, but...
I would read it. If someone sent me one, of course I would read it.
Okay, I just didn't know.
I'm not that cold and dead. Would I do it for myself? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Me neither.
I get that people do that, but personally, I feel like we share enough of what's going on with our life.
I do like writing Christmas cards to people, but I don't do anything special. Like mine are more so just the fact that I sent a card to say I'm thinking about you.
You're really big on Christmas cards, though.
Love them. Late this year, I still got to go Christmas shopping, too. Like I'm really behind. Like groceries and stuff, like the stores. I wanted to do a Costco run to get us through the holidays, but now it's going to be nuts.
It is going to be bad, isn't it?
Yeah. So I might take the extra big wagon with the horse in when I go and get a big load and do us right through to spring.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. I wouldn't do my cards are just basic, like, happy holidays, thinking of you, all the best in the new year. Love, Tyler, Todd, Charlie, Eddie, and Squirrel.
Yeah.
And that type of thing, except for one year.
We've never done a card of us, like a photo card.
No. This year, I did something different. The card is of the dome.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of cute.
It is cute.
Just to change it up a little bit. I couldn't find a card that I liked that didn't have glitter on it, that wasn't religious or kind of back to like the Christmas holidays thing. I prefer to say happy holidays because I don't know if what their beliefs are or what they celebrate. So I always default to a happy holidays card, and I found them hard to find this year. I could only really find like Christmas ones, so that's why I ended up doing our own of the dome.
Makes sense.
Okay, so looking back to, like, we're going to get back to traditions now. Looking back to when you were a kid, what tradition are you the most excited for when we have a family that it will still spark the same joy in your heart as it did when you were a kid, but you get to enjoy it from the perspective of what your parents saw?
That's a really good question.
I tell you what, I'm going for a Diane Sawyer type vibe here tonight.
I think as much as I loved, watching the Harry Potter movies and stuff, I think my dad making us all breakfast after we opened up our gifts and got to play with them, because that was what we did every Christmas. We would open our gifts right away, early, like 5:30, 6 in the morning. And then once they were open, my dad would get started and make like the full breakfast. I'm talking hash browns, eggs, like pancakes, bacon, the whole thing. And then we would eat, and then we got to go right back to playing with our toys. And I can imagine that for my dad, that was a special thing to be able to do that for all of us. But for me to be able to do that, because I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to be the one cooking.
Not breakfast. Like,
I mean, when's the
I
last
cook
time?
the Christmas dinner. I don't like to cook.
Todd cooks one meal a year.
Yeah.
Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving.
Sometimes I just don't enjoy cooking.
Yeah, you don't. But you like the production of cooking a big meal.
I just like that. Yeah, like I feel like it has an order. Like I need to start this thing first.
Yeah.
Because I only have so many burners and like one oven, Yeah. It's a puzzle that I have to figure out to make sure that everything is warm and ready at the same time. That's what I like about it.
So it's a game for you.
It's a game, but I don't enjoy.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is. I like puzzles though, but I don't like cooking every day. Because that's a full day. But if I'm only going to spend 30 minutes and make a supper, well, that's not enough time for me to really get into it, but enough time for me to not enjoy it.
That's pretty sound logic, actually. See, I actually enjoy cooking. Like, I like making meals for us. And then when you're like, ooh, this is so good, it makes me feel good. And
I know, because you like literally hound for compliments when food comes to the table.
Yeah, and they don't come quite frequently enough.
Even when they do, you're like, that's it? Are you not getting the hints of garlic?
Yeah, I do pander for compliments.
But that's words of affirmation. That's your love language.
Yeah, true.
You're huge on that.
We need to do a podcast one time on love languages.
And how important they are to recognize and work with. I mostly do it because it's a joke.
Put it in the notes.
Yeah, someone add it to the list.
Yeah. So, but yeah, being able to do that for our kids, I think it's going to be really special. What about you?
Mine is probably gingerbread house.
Oh.
But I want to do it different because I don't like cooking, but I really do enjoy baking. So I want to like bake my own gingerbread house, like the pieces.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I bought the kit years ago on clearance after Christmas, but we lived in an RV. How was I going to bake a gingerbread house? I didn't realize that. And then we moved into the dome and I wasn't able to. So I'm hoping this year.
Wait, hold on. Let's back up. When we lived in an RV, you said to yourself, I know just what I need. A gingerbread house template?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably the most logical thing I bought while we were living in an RV.
Todd would buy shit in a paper bag if it was 75% off.
Love a discount. Love it. So anyway, I just think that it will be really fun because it's a creative thing. And no one in my house was really into the gingerbread house. Like my cousins were. When we were young, we would do it. But as I got older and like better at doing them, I say better, but they probably still look like I'm 6. No one would like partake with me. So I always wanted to do a competition,
Oh, that would be fun. We should do that with all your cousins.
Yeah, like it'd be really fun.
Like who could do the best gingerbread house?
Yeah. Like that would be, just something different.
Especially like we could make with your kit, we could make all the pieces in advance.
Yeah. And if we start early, like in September, we can just make a bunch of kits and sell them at the end of the driveway.
What I was thinking is the kits that we make for everyone else, we can make them more brittle. So then ours wins.
Oh, I like that. That's a good idea. And we'll also do like a taste component to the judging. So theirs will just be extra salty.
Eddie, okay. Is he not the most just desperate dog you've ever seen?
For attention?
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
You're a lot, but we love you. We wouldn't have you any other way because you're the cutest puppy.
He's a good boy.
I love it though. But I do find maybe it's because the cottage is bigger, but we've been talking about this lately, how he's a shadow.
Yeah.
And probably at the dome, because we were so close, he could always see us. But if we leave a room here, he's right behind us.
Right behind us. And just can't get enough.
Yeah. I find Squirrel like that too.
Do you?
Yeah, I find she follows a lot. Or maybe she's just curious what I'm doing. Because if I go into the basement, she's right there. She loves the basement.
Yeah, she's really enjoying it here. She's normally running up and down the stairs, but she's asleep right over there.
Oh, I'm tired, baby.
I think because she's been spending a lot of time in the tree.
Yeah, she does love a tree. We call this time of year house in the tree season.
Yeah. All right. What do you think? Time for some tea?
Oh, yeah. Tea time.
Ooh, it's tea time.
Tea time, Eddie.
But first, we're going to take a quick moment and thank Babbel for sponsoring a portion of today's video, which allows us to continue posting content completely free for you. This fall, you can start speaking a new language with Babbel. Why Babbel? Because it works. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a private tutor or fooling yourself with language apps that are little more than games, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are designed by over 150 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in less than 3 weeks. I've been really wanting to improve my Spanish skills, but without being able to speak the language to friends and family, sticking with it has been a challenge. But with Babbel, which is rooted in real-life situations and delivered with conversational-based teaching, I'm seeing progress already. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/tangents. That's 55% off at babbel.com/tangents, spelt BABBEL.com/tangents. Rules and restrictions apply. Let's get back to the episode. Dear TNT, my son just dropped a bombshell and wants to skip our traditional family Christmas to spend time with his friends. I think I could understand if he had a girlfriend or something, but he's literally choosing his friends over his family. We are all devastated and heartbroken. How do I handle this without ruining the holiday for the rest of the family? We have 3 other children who are all coming home, but it just won't be the same. That is so weird. We kind of talked about that earlier.
I would say let him do his thing. Like the holidays, this is what I think people get confused about is like the holidays aren't about forcing people to spend time with people. It's about like they'll spend time with you, but if they've got their own thing going on, then I know, Eddie, it's almost time for supper. If they've got other things that they want to do, it's not that they don't love you, but this might be a special Christmas themed thing that they're going to that coincides, like, and it's about picking what brings them joy this time of year.
Yeah, I can imagine as a parent, it would be really difficult to accept that. But the reality is you being frustrated and not respecting his decision, it's not going to create good vibes at all. If anything, he probably won't come back next Christmas either because you didn't understand it. It's kind of, I mean, every situation's different. I don't want to judge, but you don't want to be that parent that's not accepting and understanding and respectful of an adult's decisions.
It's like his Christmas too.
Exactly. It's his Christmas. And I get that it's hard, but I mean, you have 3 other children who are coming home. Yeah. Focus on that.
And cut him out of the will at the end of it all, you know? That's what I'm going to do. If one of my kids doesn't come home, it's not a big deal until I'm dead.
And then that's on them.
That's when the tea spills.
Choices. Next Wednesday, we are going to be doing an extra special episode. We are going to be doing a full week of Christmas tea.
It's going to be great. Make sure you head over to tylerandtodd.com/podcast to give us all your Christmas related tea because we love all these submissions. But until next week, have a great one, everyone.
Bye.